Hello everybody, it is April 14th, 2026. Back with another message. I do have laundry going. My apologies if it's too distracting. Gotta get it done sometime, and now seems to be one of those times, so... Now seems to be one of those times. I hope the day is treating you kindly, everyone. Planetary circumstance. General reading for the planetary circumstance. We've got some people coming and going and cheating and stealing and wheeling and dealing and being faithful and betraying. I mean, we got all the freaking players are here. Wanting and needing. Asking and demanding. Praying and cursing. In the central energy, what do we have for the planetary circumstance? What's happening? Page of Pentacles is here, focused on an investment, moving forward, diligently moving forward. And that song, Fool on the Hill, da 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 da. In the challenge position, Ace of Pentacles, some kind of abundance, some kind of a reward. In the subconscious, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, in the recent past, these came out and slipped into the reverse. We've got the Devil in the reverse. So you are free of these doubles, these codependent, toxic people. You've transcended it. And you've got freedom here from that foundation. So everything's flipped now. You're free of the Devil and you're free of the foundation that they had you bound to. You're free of the foundation they had you bound to. They really wanted to keep you there. One of their angels that acts more like a devil by intentionally shattering the hearts of initiates and the ascended, the coming up ascended ones. So it's really sad to discover that there are higher vibrational beings behaving as devils. taking rewards that do not belong to them. It's sad because that means they've fallen. We've got the Two of Swords here. Yeah, so they were at a standstill. Somebody could be at a crossroads. You could have your guard up because you know the truth. You have clarity here over what's going on. You're no longer bound to the foundation of these codependent toxic devils. They really wanted you there, and they had one of their fake devil angels trying to keep you there and assume your identity. Apparently, they've been trained on how to break the heart chakra and then to dress themselves up in the loving energy of it. And then to use that energy and to plant themselves there and then to receive all of their true divine feminine's gifts, identity and such, and then jerk them around until it's time to get rid of them. That attempt failed. Here in the near future, because of your strength, because of the strength of a high priestess. So because of the strength of a high priestess, your courage, you're sitting here and it's just like, it's like, really, man? It's just so very disappointing that these entities and these upper dimensional spaces, you know, they've been claiming themselves to be the chosen ones or whatever, and they've been robbing from people, shattering people who have experienced lifetimes of suffering and then are coming into their graduation and their ascension. These entities shatter them and throw them back into the freaking burn pile while taking their reward. These so-called angels in the upper dimensional spaces acting like devils. They're on the payroll of this curator. A few days back, I heard her say that she would help them on one condition, that they gave her the position of this woman they were asking her to attack. They shatter the heart, and then they steal the love, they siphon the love out of the shattered heart of a high priestess, and then they go in and they offer healing using that energy and portray themselves as the high priestess that they have just shattered, trying to destroy. These fake angels. The lens is being looked through is the Five of Pentacles. So we got the Five of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords. There's some kind of abandonment. The truth is that they abandoned people. You go up there and then they shatter the heart of the true, and then they step right in as that identity and take over the divine masculine. An event such as this was just attempted. They left you there. They left the high priestess here in scarcity, and that's the truth of it. She speaks the truth. She is the truth. She's the high priestess, source connected. She's very strong and courageous. And these ones did not want the upper dimensional source to see the truth of it, that you got angels running around in these upper dimensional spaces receiving the reward off of a high priestess initiate who has been shattered and recycled. You got some real bad devils up there wearing the energy of a shattered emerald heart of high priestesses, empresses. And they do this because the high priestess, empress, speaks the truth in her Queen of Swords energy. And they don't want truth speakers up there. They want people who are going to hurt others, take from them what they have, and play this game of who gets to rise and how quickly they get to do it. And these jealous angels destroy these initiate high priestesses, and they've stolen her honor lifetime after lifetime. taken her reward, assumed the identity, and they just tried to do it again. Her name could have been Amanda. King of Cups is here. There could be some kind of a romance. Maybe he's dealing of romance or dreaming of romance. Trying to get creative. Hopes and fears, 8 of Pentacles. We've got mastery. Mastery. Your skill and your diligence in your mastery has them feeling like a victim. Your mastery has somebody feeling like a victim. They could be suffering some kind of paralysis. We've got the 2 of Swords, the gate, that your guard is up. They could be stuck at the gate. I don't know if any of you have dealt with sleep paralysis. They did that to me once. Didn't work out well for them. So we got in the outgoing energy, we've got the Tower in the reverse. Somebody wants to avoid a Tower. They're hiding from the truth. Something is incomplete. They're trying to avoid this Tower, but we've got the Temperance in the reverse too. There's no harmony. They're trying to hide. They weren't able to complete this cycle. They're trying to avoid this Tower. There's confusion. They're out of balance. There's no temperance. They weren't able to siphon the heart out of this High Priestess. Shame on you, so-called angels, so-called chosen ones, shattering the heart of initiates and ascended masters on their way up, just so that they can take the grand reward that they're coming into. Those ones who had not fallen and who had not been tested. Very cruel, reducing the human being to a personality rather than an actual survivor, a victor over the Satan that was consuming souls. You've got angels up there wanting to stick it to them and making sure Satan gets that shit back so that they can consider harming them once more. Oh, those angels are so sweet, aren't they? And everybody freaking loves them. And everybody freaking wants them because they've got magic and their angelic status. And they've been busted. I don't think this is what God meant when he chose them for their purity. They have all been trained to do evil deeds, and they do it very well. Perhaps not all of them. They've been fighting with the Queen of Cups. The love of Divine Feminine, the true love, the one who is gentle and compassionate and kind and caring and nurturing to even the smallest creature, understanding that its value is priceless in the mix of the living. Those angels, wherever the hell they are, these chosen ones that have been doing magic to shatter the emerald heart space of true high priestesses that are carrying extensive power, those ain't angels. And it's very disappointing. You can sense the disappointment in the divine masculine as it's uncovered, because they portray themselves as very sweet, as very loving. Well, that's because they're wearing the energy of how many shattered high priestesses' hearts did they siphon in order to get this beautiful love? Oh, I can heal you, honey. I would never hurt you. Oh no, she would just hurt the actual divine feminine you're supposed to be with. What a clown. The Star is going to receive justice. Wow, that's a real naked one. Yeah, so the Star is getting justice, the revitalizer, the healer, the one who actually carries the light, the one who actually was just shattered by a supposed angel practicing devil magic. She was discovered. She was interviewed. She's confessing all that she knows about what she was trained in, who trained them, who the teachers are. How long has it been going on? Is this a regular practice? Why, yes, it is, because everybody else is unworthy of what they have earned and what they have become. Everybody else is written up. Oh, bad, 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 bad. False reports for centuries. What a disappointment to God that must be. Page of Pentacles is here, making an offer, wanting to make an offer, there's a victory, a forward momentum, things are falling apart. So we've got an opportunity, somebody's manifesting something, we've got stability, they're looking for stability, they want to make an offer, they're looking for stability, they want to get on your chariot. You've got a victory here, they want to get on board, come on board, they want to pay for a ticket. Hello, can I get a ticket on board your chariot? Because, things are falling apart. Things are falling apart, man. They need to get on your chariot. We got the Ace of Pentacles here. You're prosperous. You got a whole bunch of abundance, a big old reward here. There's a 10 of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. His life is falling apart. They're very uneasy about it. They could be inspired by the way you managed past lives in the history regarding the fear. How did you transform? Somebody's uneasy about your transformation. You've got your wings. You are in sainthood. There's like 5 women there and 3 children. You got this Ace of Pentacles. You're bringing stability. You've got the 10 of Pentacles here. The children are running free. They are guided or guarded by the protective hands of the Most High. They're here running freely, playing abundantly. Nobody's messing with them. They are protected. Knowledge, armor. Because now you have knowledge about how to protect them from this wackadoodle freaking devil worshiping crap. So the children were going to be here. They're going to be free. You have knowledge about how to protect them. What kind of armor do you need to apply in order to make certain that the children can play without being molested or energy harvested or soul consumed or whatever, mentally effed with? We got the devil in the reverse. So what? You've transcended the devil. You're liberated from the devil. You've got freedom here. And then with the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, freedom times 2. You're very flexible. You've been released. You're released. Gatekeepers. You're free to transcend. You have been released by the gatekeepers. There were some gatekeepers that were filing false reports on the divine feminines, these high priestesses, and they were siphoning them. They were shattering this big, beautiful love that they had, and then putting them into South Node and then sending them into the fire. They feel that because there's medicine in a body, that gives them the privilege automatically to keep somebody. And this curator, and I have no idea who he is, I've only seen him once in the astral, and he took on the form of a 13 to 14-year-old light-skinned boy. He was wearing a white jacket and a white pair of pants. He looked kind of chubby, like pre-teen or pre-adult, whatever. And it was like he was going up an escalator into the upper dimensional space, and then there was a masculine and some other people coming down. These escalators were passing each other, and one of these men, he like practically fell over the freaking railing trying to shake the hand of this curator man that's been here in this dimensional space, prostituting every freaking buddy, siphoning souls, consuming energy out of people, leading them into addictions, into war, into aggravated, disharmony, divorce, infidelity, driving them into failure, and then filing the report that that's what they were, that's what they wanted. You can't set people up for failure and then accuse them of being that, man. It doesn't work like that. So we got a 2 of Swords here. You're free. You're free of the devil. You're free of this stupid foundation that they had you bound to. The gatekeepers had to let you go. We've got the 2 of Swords. You could have your guard up, or maybe with the 2 of Swords being the crossroad, maybe you know the truth about what has been going on at the crossroads. They have to let you go. They've been avoiding the truth, and the truth is that they've been holding everybody back and siphoning their rewards and giving it to these angels that are acting like devils by red rumming people, high priestesses shattering their beautiful big love, this love that they had to grow and become through centuries of suffering just to get up there, man. And as soon as they get up there, you got a powerful angel using baneful magic to shatter the high priestess's heart. This high priestess is full of courage and strength. You got this nasty ass angel doing baneful devil magic, siphoning the heart chakra energy and then offering a healing to the divine masculine that was hooked to her husband, and then kicking her to the freaking curb. I'll fix it for you, honey. She was the one who did the damage. And you're grounded. You're grounded. You know the truth of it. It's all been exposed. You're free of that devil. You're no longer bound to that foundation. They cannot force you to expend your beautiful, broken, shattered energy and essence to fuel their disgusting mess here. The gatekeepers have to let you go. They were holding you up at the crossroads, and you know the truth about it. We've got an offering. There could have been an offering made. You know, there's been some stuff going on. You know, we've got serendipity and catalysts for change happening. There could have been an offering made to the Egyptians, to I guess, well, there's a tribe of jaguar, and I'm thinking it has something to do with that. But pharaohs are free. There's all kinds of curses that have been canceled out. When serendipity came up, when there was divine intervention, when a pure being was able to break through and break through this, because the gatekeepers were holding everybody up, binding them, keeping them bound to the wheel. You were bound here. They were just bleeding you dry, sucking you dry. In the most heinous way. And they started from babies, youth, violating, desecrating from the very, very beginning. Lifetime after lifetime. We've got patience. So you've got strength and courage, infinity. Like never-ending strength and courage of this high priestess. Source connected. Source connected. Endlessly patient. Courageous. Carrying the weight of this cat. Connected to the lion. It has been said in months past, the daughter of came up through this and was able to reveal the truth about what's been going on with this family. These entities here, these gatekeepers and such, have been doing their best to destroy Lyra, Lyran, the Lyran tribe. So now there's been an offering to the Egyptians, the jaguars. There was this union, a serendipity, catalyst, union. And so I guess, I don't know, however you look at it, you can consider it, you know, light and shadow, you can consider it upper and under, you can consider it whatever you want, crown and root. The bridge has been mended. So symbiosis, proper symbiosis, which will restore proper middle ground homeostasis, because there's not going to be this weird thing, you know, this bark beetle in the middle trying to play God and trying to play the devil too. No, now we got the real players are back and straightening out these gatekeepers. So the Five of Pentacles struggle is here. So maybe you were, the High Priestess was here, very patient in a Five of Pentacles hardship and struggle. Very, very terrible. She's telling the truth of it here in the Queen of Swords energy. She was isolated, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Everybody else was up here in these upper dimensional spaces, while they had her stuck down here. They stuck her in this crevice. She couldn't get out, but she was listening and experiencing everything they threw at her, every time they shat on her, every time they pissed on her, spit on her, every nasty thing they did to her. Look at them. They're looking over the edge. They know she's down there, and they're all partying. They're all thinking it's real great. Oh, look at this high and mighty soprano high priestess. Look at her down there. Yeah, yeah. I conquered that one, he said. Yes, he sure did. We got a Knight of Cups here. Knight of Cups in the environment. And we got memories in the past. You may not remember who this is. They're trying to cover up the memories. They don't want to, they're hiding memories. You don't remember who this is. Eight of Pentacles. You've mastered yourself and they're feeling trapped. They're feeling like a victim. You got a Knight of freaking Cups here from the past. They're trying to hide it. You don't remember who it is. Getting laid to rest. So you've mastered yourself. You're very detail oriented, and these people, whoever this is, they're feeling like a victim. Or maybe you mastered yourself while they had you trapped, and now you're laying all of this to rest. Somebody's afraid. Somebody's having anxiety over your hard work, over your self-mastery. You're laying them to rest. We got a Knight of Cups here in the environment. I have been hearing them speaking about recognizing somebody. They've been speaking about defensive weapons, what your skills are, whether you're a martial artist, and all this other stuff. Just be wary. You got this Tower in the reverse here. So somebody's hiding from the truth. They weren't able to complete a cycle. They were hoping they could take you out, High Priestess, and they just didn't. So now everybody's fighting. There's no temperance for them. You were their temperance, but not anymore. Somebody's coming in here. They want to try to woo you or something. You've had a rebirth. Yeah, you're free of the devil. They want to try to rope you back in. They're in a tower. They want to avoid this tower. They want to get in, but you're grounded here. Look, you're part of the mother. It's like you're like sharing a heartbeat with the Mother Earth. It's like, and when you look at the trees, when there's no leaves on them or otherwise, they are like the heart. You can see the vein, the ventricular structure and all that. It's just like a heart. So somebody was not able to complete a cycle. They're confused. They're out of temperance while you are grounded. They're confused. Like, how did you do it? Why are you grounded? Like, all this magic they threw at you. You were supposed to be heart shattered, completely separated, and like, you know, ready to exit stage left, while this other person stepped in as you wearing your freaking emerald heart. Little beads around the neck. Oh, look at my pretty little necklace. I'm so full of love, darling. Grounded here. High Priestess, self-care. Love yourself to health. High priestess, very strong, very courageous, very... What the... You people, look at them. Look at them. They're looking at her heart and they're all like, "Hoo," and then they attacked her. They attacked her. Trying to knock her out of balance, but she remained balanced anyway. So they were trying to strand her. These are the teachers. These are the teachers that had left her stranded long, long ago. And she surpassed them. They've been wearing her shattered freaking emerald heart as a necklace for centuries. And then taking her intellectual property, listening to her messaging. And then the devil was wearing a mask and pretending to be that. Oh, you sick mofos. We got some turning of the tables. You're making your move? You're flipping the script? Yeah, so they're confused. They're like, oh no, they can't complete a cycle. They're like, oh no, they're all in disharmony. Everybody's freaking out while you are grounded. You're the healer. You're healing like those who deserve it, like those who didn't try to snatch your heart out. You're like out there pouring this golden energy into everybody. You're one with the Mother Earth. She's moving through you. And you're bringing this fabulous love and grounding energy to everybody. The high priestess who takes very good care of herself in union with the all that is, the great mother that supplies the living life force, right? That moves through all things. What do you freaking know? Oh, those who had opinions about you attacked you, but you remained balanced. You remained balanced when those teachers came at you like that. Look, it could be that they're being stranded now because of what was heard. Transmitter receiver, you're back online. You've got boundaries now to these devils wearing a freaking angel suit. They're out there in their white robes and stuff, but they're out there doing baneful magic with the power of an angel to shatter the heart space of high priestesses. It came out twice, man. Now there's boundaries because these high priestesses are the caretakers of this realm. They're the ones who are humble. They're the ones who aren't going to strip somebody of their value and treat them like they're a commodity. Oh no, these high priestesses aren't just some snotty little angel up there breaking hearts and stepping in for a freaking fantasy. No, this is a real freaking deal. The real freaking deal. They're not out here shattering the hearts of the community so that they can get a freaking leg up and eat more emeralds and pretend like they're greater love. No. Sorry. No. Shadow. Wow. Freaking wacky, man. Shadow. Yeah. Look, somebody was imagining that they were going to shatter your emerald heart and that they were going to dress up in it wearing that stupid little necklace of your broken heart, your beautiful love. Where is it? I get so mad when I see that. This is exactly what they do. You got this freaking angel in some upper space. And they're doing that. They're going in and they're taking this big, beautiful heart of this powerful high priestess, the one who has earned it over centuries of suffering and overcoming. And they do their baneful magic to shatter her heart, man. And then they make a necklace out of it. And they dress up like they're this powerful, mighty bear. And they can heal everything. Only because they've broken the heart of the one who is to do this work with compassion for everything. This is just a consumer, man. This is a consumer. This is a producer. This is a consumer. Pretending. Yep, we got far too many of those. They love to dish out death. They love genocide. Oh, yes, they do. And God said, since you love genocide so much, they're going to get it. Since they've been feeding on these high-value women and then stepping in, these selfish, arrogant twits. Be quiet, personality. Oh, okay, Angel. Oh, pardon me. My darling, I'm so sorry. So the Page of Pentacles is here. Somebody is wanting to make an offer. They want to make a small offer. They see that you're victorious. They want to get aboard your chariot. Things are falling apart. But that was the sober you, not retrograde. Things are falling apart. Stop texting your ex. Own it. It's not Mercury. Excuses, responsibility, and maturity. So we got things are falling apart. They want to get on board your chariot. They're making a small offer. They're making excuses. Things are falling apart. They did it sober. They did it knowing what they were doing. They're challenged by the Ace of Pentacles here. Your prosperity. They're uneasy over your transformation here in the dark. They could be afraid over what you've become, over what you've seen, over what you've witnessed, over what you've experienced. And the children are there with you. We've got spiritual hygiene starts with laundry, clean your room. That's the message. Discipline, reset, and action. So you've learned discipline that could have produced some kind of a reset. The script or the what do they call that? The blueprint or whatever that they had of you is outdated. When they had you in the grave, they weren't thinking you were going to ever get out of it. So they didn't pay attention to your transformation. They're thinking about this Ten of Pentacles here, what, your legacy. They're thinking about the legacy that you're leaving behind. The children can go play and they can be safe and not worry about having some nasty jack come snatch them up and go make a profit off their suffering. So because you have knowledge, High Priestess, the strength of your ability to heal through all of these terrible things, to maintain temperance through all of the shatterings, all this nasty, baneful magic. You know what to do to armor up the children, you know, what herbs to take, how to amplify the energy, how to generate happy, right? How to stop the mess that these ones have been doing to the mental body, you know, how to protect the space of the children, you know, with the hand of God or whatever, you know, to clear the energy so that they won't be messed with. Tempted. Netflix jail. fear, stagnation. Girl, your comfort zone is a trap. So Netflix, whatever, whoever this is, somebody doing some kind of movies, the copycats, Netflix jail. They got comfortable being a copycat. They got comfortable stepping in to a shattered heart space of a high priestess and then being that, while the real one gets recycled into the fire. Oh yeah, Netflix freaking jail. That's exactly what they tried to do, and it didn't work. It's not working anymore. And what's happening is the more times they try, the greater the research and evidence and confessions and such. And so that means the greater the knowledge and the greater the armor. So while it is heartbreaking, and devastating, and we've had to build our lives over and over and over again alone, many of us, from scratch, because Nasty Jack and their little nasty gals were always coming in, interfering or being nasty, so whatever. Dogs are better company. I have found over the many decades of my life. Anyhow, Miss Porn Star or whatever, Miss Fake It to Make It, is in jail. You're armored up to this fraud stepping in. These children will not have their high priestess, their freaking temperance angel high priestess, heart shattered right before they're supposed to step into this union. This is not going to happen anymore. So there's a lot of research that has been done here. There's some kind of a confession that has happened. Somebody is in jail. They got themselves into a comfort zone of gaining it and faking it, and now they're in big trouble because they're no longer angels. They're devils. So we got the devil flipped into the reverse. You're free of that. You're overcoming whatever this is. There's a detachment and you are liberated from that scenario. We got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse also. Freedom from the binding. They had you bound to this. They had you just sit there. They were draining you for everything that they could get out of you. But you are free of that. You remained flexible. You survived. You're identifiable. And the gatekeepers got to let you go. The gatekeepers they got to let you go. Or there's new gatekeepers. I think that's what's happening. The old gatekeepers, they were filing false reports. I don't think they're in position anymore. Now, I think they're probably receiving what they deserve. The gatekeepers are dead weight. You can't glow if they won't let go. So they have to let go. You remain flexible. And the gatekeepers, look, dots don't mean devotion. Dead weight. You are free of these gatekeepers. You are liberated. They were dead weight. They were making you carry dead weight. They were making you carry the weight of everybody here. Right at the very end, they had their freaking copycat come in and do a heart shattering, a baneful heart shattering. These freaking angels, man, they were supposed to be angelic, and they've been fading like vampires. How disappointing. I mean, they had it easy while these other high priestesses were down here receiving the shattering, having to rebuild their life over and over again on their own. Many of them lost connection because these jackwagons were so freaking jealous. They shut them down in every way they could. Cursed and hexed their crown, disconnected their chariot so that they couldn't connect to source, and they stepped in. They interceded and interjected and siphoned all of the messaging as though they were it. They tried it again recently. Oh, first-hand experience, honey. It was bad. It was bad, but it was very informative as well. Dead weight. They are a bunch of dead weight. They don't do anything. They don't serve anybody. All they do is hex, curse, and then siphon. while pretending that the love that they're exuding actually belonged to them. But no, it was that big old emerald heart that had been shattered and then sucked up by this freaking vampire, octopus, or whatever. So yeah, now you're reading energy. You're not listening to what people say. You have transformed. You have been liberated. You not just look, man. You know that people aren't devoted to you. Hey, you know. And no, so you got to read the energy. You got to use your intuition. You've learned great amounts of discernment here, while people have been jacking you around, forcing you to carry the burden of their crap and transmuting the karmic debt, you know, because they shatter right there. At this point, I knew it was coming, man. I've been expecting it for some time, and now, boom. Oh, yeah, honey. This time we got witnesses, though, that are greater than those who have been thinking themselves so high and mighty. And it's really, really sad. It's sad, man, because there's no humility. There's no humbleness. There's no grace. They're siphoning the purity out of initiates who are ascending, and then they pretend that they are that, and it doesn't belong to them. So we've got the Two of Swords here. There could be some kind of a crossroads. You know the truth with the Ace of Swords. The truth of the offering at the crossroads. There may have been an offering. You may have been an offering, High Priestess. You may have offered up yourself to see, to gain, to break through. And you just happened to be what? Pure. Osiris said, there's a heaven in her, so she got to go on through and then bring all of that High Priestess wisdom about this scenario that's been going on for so long. And now that the connection has been made, the recent attempts to shatter the heart space and then wear it like a necklace and step right in. I mean, everything is seen, felt, witnessed, heard. So people are having trouble sleeping right now. Like they got sleep deprivation. Whoever this fella is, he can't sleep. There was an offering made at the crossroads, and you're speaking the truth. Whatever you made at the crossroads, I don't know. But we're not recycling heartbreak like plastic bottles anymore. You're no longer going to have to try to heal in the same place that broke you. Somebody can't sleep because you're out of there. You're out of there. You're letting it go. You are liberated again. Liberated, free, liberated. These people have to accept responsibility and be accountable for what they have done to you and to others, so many others. Yeah. And they really wanted to take you out. I mean, like step right in or step right up or something, but you were too strong. Your bonds are too strong. It could be that your family, you know, they just didn't want to let you go or something. You were an offering. You're offering the truth. Everybody can see that there's been false reporting and major theft and identity theft, wealth theft. They've been keeping all of the ascension and initiate gifts and rewards for the ascended masters and their graduates, their family member, trapped here, siphoning their value while slandering them and filing false reports, man. Keeping them in heartbreak, shattering them with this baneful magic, whatever that is. It takes that big, huge emerald and it just goes, and then they dump in this black death energy and it sucks. It's like a black hole and it sucks the love out of you. And then that little twit angel comes in and she offers a healing. And then everybody's like, oh, the angel healed me. And and the broken one didn't even get an opportunity to do the healing because some jackass decided to step in the middle and claim themselves victorious and capable when it was the shattering of the heart that they had sucked up and then utilized to do it. It was a major, fantastic illusion and such a serious offense. So disappointing. Not just me, I felt it. I'm like, hey, I'm alive, you know, I'm grateful for that, but that's not the energy that I feel, because apparently people were trained to do this. It's how they've been getting along for thousands of years. So they're exhausted watching your reruns. I heard God say that everything that they did to her from the beginning to the end will be done to them. And so they're exhausted watching the reruns of Lifetime Story of Earth Woman, because apparently it's been very, very heinous and terrible. What has been happening to the divine feminine, the high priestesses that have been kicked down, heart shattered. They're so freaking powerful and temperance, and you know, not everybody survived, but at this, you know, level 10, I guess, of the game, you're still here, and you're still here most likely because you're identifiable and you're no longer alone. So these people are seeing what's happening here, and again, we've got accountability. They're like, oh my gosh, they're going to be held accountable and responsible for what they've been doing here, and they're looking at these reruns, and they're like, oh no, that happened to her, oh, that happened to them, oh no, I got to go through that. And it's like, stop mistaking static for signals. Yeah, they're going to have to do it on their own. There's not going to be any Wi-Fi. They got to go back to a time or a place where there was no internet, there was no telepathy. You're just out there getting the shit kicked out of you, and humiliated by the whole town, who, based on a rumor or a whatever, you know, everybody decided to be cruel to you or something. Freaking, yeah, bad, you know, these folks with their technology are real good at that stuff. Yep. So now they're having anxiety. They're like, oh no. Well, you know, I mean, they should know better. You know, I mean, once the bridge was mended, it's just so strange to me that these same people, these angels and everybody that's been doing this, they're not connected to the same God, the same universal family that these high priestesses seem to be connected to. Even though they're vibing high with all of that beautiful energy, of course they are, because they have shattered the emerald heart of somebody of seriously high value, and then they're wearing it, you know, like it belongs to them. While she has to go now, not only mend and put herself back together, but she has to then regenerate this beautiful emerald so that she can get her butt back up to the top of that mountain. So that what? They can do it all over again, and it's what they've been doing for a long time. And the sad thing about it is that these entities, these devilish entities up there, refer to these high priestesses as personalities, and they tell them to be quiet and such, like they don't have a right or a privilege to even exist. So unfollow equals self-care. You can't heal while stalking is in. So you're free. Again, you're free of this entity that has been comparing themselves to you, high priestess. You're free of this entity. This devil is in the reverse. Four of Pentacles is in the reverse. They can no longer siphon you or play games with their copycat movies or whatever. So Five of Pentacles, the truth is out about your abandonment. They abandoned you, and then they exploited you, desecrated you, defiled you in every way that they could think of. You're in your Queen of Swords energy, and you're very clear about what has been going on while you were in isolation, what was happening to you and what you were hearing, what you were observing, everything. You're a witness. You're a witness. And now there is stop giving idiots spiritual credit. So the reality and the blunt truth of it is that those who've been up there shattering the hearts of these high priestesses and then keeping them stuck here so that these rapists, human traffickers and such could have their way with their powerful energy, it's over. Because I think there's a grand disappointment over the quality of what was considered divine. now that the truth is known. There's a Knight of Cups here in the environment, offering love. We've got memories in the reverse. You may not remember who this is. Maybe they're hoping you won't remember. Not everyone gets a ticket to your next season. You're allowed to outgrow people. Again, freedom, evolution, change. Anybody coming up to you right now, it's like it's just done. It's done. Not everyone gets a ticket to your next season. So you don't remember who this person is. You know, and that's weird. I've seen some fellas coming up to gals in the astral and whatnot. Do you still love me? And it's like, wow, don't even remember who you are. I mean, that's strange, you know. Why would it? You know, and I've heard people, you'll always be my best friend. And it's like, you know, typically people know who their best friends are, you know. I mean, this is so freaking wacky. So, hopes and fears. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. You've mastered yourself. You mastered yourself when you were here in this, in isolation. And it could very well be that due to your skill that you are, I mean, you made it to the top of that mountain. You've earned your initiate reward cycle after cycle after cycle after cycle. They've stolen your honor and your heart. Cycle and your husband, who they then most likely messed with also because it wasn't the real deal, man. It was a nasty gig. So somebody might be feeling like a victim because due to your mastery, folks are being laid to rest. This is being laid to rest. It's being ended. It's ending. It's over. They're looking at your reruns and they're like, oh no, you know, and they're all in denial, but everybody was on board with this whole persona of behavior, you know, like this was the way to do it. You know, like people who suffered and then changed their ways and became better, you know, somehow, even when they made it to High Priestess status twice, they're the actual caretaker of this place. And rather than allow this person to bloom and flourish and allow everything around them to flourish, they tied them to this wheel and buried them in the hole and then just pulled off of them villainously while portraying themselves as this powerful love, you know? That's wild. So you're laying this stuff to rest, and self-love looks good on you. You've got confidence, glow, attraction, the best filter you'll ever wear. You're really glowing up. So you've mastered yourself. Somebody's feeling like a victim. Or you mastered yourself while in isolation, and you're laying this to rest with your glow up. With your glow up. You're very confident. You're very confident. Somebody is trying to avoid a tower. Somebody's afraid of change. They're trying to, they weren't able to complete a cycle. We've got the Temperance in the reverse too. There's a lot of disharmony. People could be arguing with each other. Confused. That's what I like. Come here now. Confused. Over you and the mother are like one, intertwined, you and everything that grows upon that beautiful ground, right? You got your arms wrapped around one of those beautiful standing ones. Whew, and look at that. It's the flow, right? It's the river of life. It's moving through you, and wherever you go, you could be visiting places in the astral, right? You could be going here or there. In other dimensional spaces. You could be bringing healing to the waters. You could be traveling around. Some people are like universal gatekeepers, or they're like planetary system, whatever, in other spaces and places. And so your ability to be connected to the mother like that, the creatress, right? Woo. So with this flow going through you in this other space when you're sleeping or whatever, you know, with your high vibing energy, you could be traveling around doing healing in other dimensional spaces, healing the waters, healing the people, enlivening people with your self-care, sharing perhaps your methods, your the way that you do it. You know, there's these guys here with this technology, they really like to mess around with the mental body, and it is so hard when they get those soap operas going. But there are a few things you can do. High Priestess is here, self-care. So we got some teachers coming online, and we've got some folks here that are making sure that that's going to happen, right? Because you are the ones that are bringing temperance with your courage, your strength, your ability to weather the storm. You're deeply rooted. Your roots go deeper than any of these ones can go. And so the nourishment that flows through you, this temperance energy, it's like it brings like that symbiosis thing. The symbiosis, the mother, right? That moves through all things. And we've got these high priestesses here that have been trapped here, but rather than be allowed to be one with and then to allow all to flourish, they've been squished and broken and shattered and buried, and, you know, while other people have been taking on this thing, but they're not really what these high priestesses are, because wherever these high priestesses go, whatever comes off of them, the energy, it just naturally is comfortable, nourishing, loving, caretaker. Somebody's trying to avoid a tower. They have no temperance. While you are all of that, High Priestess. Right there in the outgoing energy. And then right here in the near future, they're looking at what happened to you. And they're like, oh no. Because now they got to go do it. And what they shattered your heart. And they tried to take on your role in this new cycle. They didn't want to let you go. They wanted to keep you here at the gate, at the crossroad, and harvest you. But it was witnessed. You have a witness now because the bridge is mended, and there's a lot of witnesses in this original organic communication system. It's back online. So the true one. And no one is coming to steal your spotlight, hun. Absolutely not. You are the main character. So start acting like it. You're confident, you're empowered, and the spotlight is on you. They thought they were just going to come in here and shatter your heart at the very last minute and step in after everything you've been through. And it's so sad because, you know, because the divine, I can feel it, you know. They're so beautiful. It's just unfortunate that it's not their beauty. It's the shattered freaking heart space of a true high priestess. So, yeah, you are going to romanticize your own damn life. You're independent, and you're no longer waiting. You're going to buy yourself your own flowers. You're going to take yourself out to lunch. And the souvenirs from Heartbreak do not age well. These are not gifts you wish to bring into your future. So you're burning the hoodie and keeping the lesson. Again, we've got empowerment. Empowerment, because the fake version of you who is trying to step in as you is like, oh, for Pete's sake. They got rejected. You were brought back online. If it really, well, in my case, what I was experiencing or what I was picking up on was rather tragic, you know. They thought for sure they had it in the bag. Except that the beings that are here right now doing evaluations and research are far wiser than any of these clever ones. So yes, it sucks. No, they're not dying. They're going to learn to be resilient and go through the things that these high priestesses went through in order to gain that huge emerald loving heart that they so arrogantly and willfully used baneful magic to shatter at the last minute and just step right into the shoes of this high priestess and present herself as her divine masculine's wife. So yeah. So yeah, it sucks. They're not dying. They're going to have to go through it. They're going to have to go through it because you are no longer sharing your stuff with people who won't even share with you their chips, their potato chips. So this is all about fairness. And folks just can't come in and shatter the heart of somebody who has worked so very hard over and over and over again, helping people along the way, still remaining loving after all of the heartbreak, the deceit, the willful attacks against their chakra, their system, their timeline, everything. Because these ones who are doing this baneful magic are lazy. They just sit there and they're like, oh yeah, I'll go do that. I'll go do that magic. I'm strong, I'm powerful, and boom, shattered heart. I'm the conqueror. Yep, I gotta do it now. Nope, you gotta go earn it now. You gotta go earn it now. And they're having fear because they're being stopped. Cosplay. Oh man. They thought it was just a game. They thought it was a game. They made some bad decisions. They said love don't pay the rent. So now they got to go take care of themselves. Because messy doesn't mean powerless. Messy does not mean powerless. And honestly, the real miracle is that you made it out alive, but you made it out alive barely. Many did not. Many were consumed by this devil that these so-called angels kept knocking down and making life increasingly more difficult, more challenging, impossible. They said it was for this one and that one. So there's either the same high priestess or two high priestesses or whatever. We got double potency here. And we got freedom. And this is just, people are like, oh no, now what? So she's weathered the storm. The roots are deep. Whatever moves through this high priestess is moving through the realms. A healing energy. Like a tree. Like a powerful tree that is weathering, the entire planetary shift of a storm. And just standing there, processing, right? The chaos and surviving it. Yeah. So the glow-ups that are using filters, those who are pretending, those who are interfering and hijacking the intellectual property of true high priestesses that really went through the work and did all their shadow work and transmuted all this nasty energy that they tried to put upon them in order to drown them, in order to snatch them up and trap them. Yeah. No, that did not come with no filter. That did not come with no filter. Guess what? It was not pretty at all. It was painful. It was ugly. There was crying. There was all kinds of things. And then there was this attempted hijacking. So let go already. This position doesn't use filters. And congratulations, you sponsored the circus. So now they're out there heartbroken and crying to the world. Because you deserve flowers, not confusion. They gave the bare minimum. They gave the bare minimum to the main character. You're the main character. You're the one. that would have covered them. But instead, they chose time and time again to shatter your heart. So now guys are like, you know, this time she's wearing her own freaking emerald. Nobody's going to be shattering that hard. Fixie, fixie, fixie. And the fake you is getting rejected. They don't know what to do. They're seeking advice, eating popcorn, dreaming about it like, oh no, what happened? But the universe don't take ex-back requests for this devil. They're like, they want you back. They want you back so freaking bad. But no, God said no. God said no. She's free. She's free. He's free. Do what you need to do with the genders. She's free. The gatekeepers got to let her go. The gatekeepers have been forcing her to carry the dead weight of these ones, and no more. That's it. No more. Girl, blocking is free, and there's nothing hotter than saying no. Honor thyself and thy connections that you were there creating while you were in your cocoon in those darkness, sprouting those seeds that were planted in you by the divine, right? That what you needed to become this high priestess. And you're either a high priestess times 2, or this is so incredible that they tried to do this to you. It's earned. This power, this energy, this love, this attitude, this whatever that these pretenders can't stand about you. Your authenticity, your realness, making everybody look bad. Doing too much, too well. Making everybody upset. They can see around you that they didn't really do their work because it's childish, selfish, and codependent. Like they can't rely upon themselves. Or, I don't know. I mean, this isn't for everybody. Okay, I'm just talking about this particular whatever. So, Page of Pentacles here, just telling a story. Page of Pentacles wants to invest in something, make a small offer. They want to get on board your chariot. Things are falling apart. But hey, that was a sober you. That was a sober you. You did it. You did it. This is a forgotten person. They did it. It was a sober you. Accept responsibility. This forgotten person has to accept responsibility for what it is they have done. This could have been a friend who was jealous of you. They may not have liked the fact that you could manage yourself so well, and they were not able to. Maybe they felt small around you. When I was in my 20s, I had a job, and I was working hard. I mean, that was my nature, though. And what the older lady came, and she took me aside, and she said, you need to slow down. You're making everybody look bad. And they were getting upset about it. That whole thought, that had never occurred to me. It did not occur to me at all. I was just trying to get hired on full time, you know. You know how that goes. So, Ace of Pentacles here. Things are falling apart, but that was sober you. That was sober you. You did it, or they did it. Sorry. Not you, unless it was you, but they did it. This forgotten person, whoever this was in your life, they did it, and now they got to take responsibility for it. Their life is falling apart. They're challenged because of your abundance and your reward. They want it. They're uneasy about the transformation that you went through while you were in the dark, while you were under the moon. You gained your wings. And these aren't just butterfly wings. These are moth wings. So you've got the power of the moon, right? And you've got your saintly white robe. And you're not alone. There's at least 5 other women there with you. And then there's the children too. So you got the elements there. There's a storm. There's clouds. They're uneasy about it. You've disciplined yourself. You've learned discipline, and now you're taking action, and this is being brought to a pause. There's a reset. There's a reset happening. There's a reset. 10 of Pentacles. So this is your legacy. You're leaving behind for the children a safe space. You've gained a lot of knowledge about what these people were doing. Who, what, why, how, when, how deep, how high. On the water, in the ground, in the air. What? Right? So you found it. And now you have an idea of what it is that you need to armor up against. And somebody is... somebody's in a comfort zone. Somebody fell into a trap. Netflix jail. Somebody's in Netflix jail. Whoever this is that was trying to impersonate you, they're in Netflix jail. We got taboo. Taboo. So there's this like a crime. There's like no crime. So this was like they're being there's yeah. So there's growth here. Nothing taboo. Yeah, this person was a copycat. They were mimicking you, perhaps, doing videos, portraying themselves as you. They did it silver. They did it, yeah, they tried. They're not going to be able to do this. This is forbidden. We're not doing forbidden love. This person tried. They tried to crush the heart of this high priestess. They tried to step right in. But we're not doing that. They're not, their crime, their ability to commit a crime is coming to an end. Somebody's reached their limit. Beyond their limit. You're being removed from the devil. You've transcended the devil. 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, you've got your freedom here. You got your freedom. You're being released. You're being released. The gatekeepers have to release you. You're being liberated. These could be new gatekeepers. Dots don't mean devotion. You're reading energy. You're not typing bubbles. So it could, I don't know, like these people, you know, they've been out here doing this Netflix thing. They've been doing this cyber copycatting, whatever the heck, pretending to be you. But you're reading energy, and that's the thing. It's like, yeah, there's awareness of the mirror. Dots don't mean devotion. So these people are doing this cyber thing, and they're trying to suck people in to whatever this system is, this matrix or whatever. Wow, that just came to me. So they're actually trying to, like the dots on the computer screen, they're trying to trap people into a new matrix. But you're free of it now. You're free of it. Yeah, the gatekeepers, you have to release you because you have transformed. I hear that you say that you are necessary. These people, they want to wear your broken, shattered heart, but they don't know about the resilience that required you, you know, to just stand there in the suffering of it and breathe into it and then learn how to alchemize it. These people don't know how to alchemize your freaking emerald heart. They know how to shatter it with baneful magic and make a pretty little necklace and wear the energy of it. But if anything were to come in and shatter them, they couldn't probably alchemize it and make it shine real big again like you can. They know how to make a necklace by shattering your heart, but they don't know how to generate that beautiful love within themselves. It's sad, man. Letting go. So the mirror. Dots don't mean devotion. We're reading energy. We're not typing bubbles. So the mirror is here, surrendering, being released. The reflection. You know, and I was thinking about that too, for a while. Like, the only time I ever really see myself is when I do these things. I'm just gonna forget what I look like for a while. I want to start getting in touch with like what's on the inside again, because that really needs to happen. So at the crossroads, okay, these mirrors, these copycats are being let go because you got your guard up. Here at the crossroads, you have the Ace of Swords. You know the truth. There's an offering being made. Maybe there was an offer made, but somebody's losing sleep because you are not recycling heartbreak like plastic bottles. You're being liberated from that. They can no longer shatter your heart and then make an offering. Somebody tried to sacrifice you by shattering your heart, by offering you to somebody. And then they wanted to step in as you with your spiritual spouse, wearing your shattered heart as a necklace or whatever. This is what they've been doing. They got caught in the act. You're liberated from that. They're going to be held accountable. They're not able to sleep. They tried to sacrifice a rose. They tried to offer a rose. They tried to keep you at the crossroads and offer you up as a sacrifice. But the fact of the matter is that you're a special kind of somebody under the moon, right? It could be that you were an offering already, that maybe you are united here, the lion and the jaguar. Somebody tried to offer up somebody else's rose. Well, I don't know. They're going to be held accountable. They're going to be held responsible for what it is they've done. Yeah, I've solved the puzzle. So this is this terrible thing about this kind of research my higher self was saying, or somebody was saying. When these people come in and they shatter your heart and they run this rhetoric through your mind, and it's not thought patterns that you typically would have, but it's painful, man. It's like your brain is a muscle and they move this stuff, and it's like it could go on for like 2-3 hours and then finally relax, right? And then all of a sudden the brain is like tired. It's like, I'm so tired of this, you know? It's like they just force this in, and it's fortunately we're so very blessed. The consciousness is being witnessed like by beings far greater than we or anyone that have been, you know, kind of hurting we. The truth is known, the truth is revealed. You've solved the puzzle by exposing, by breaking through. High Priestess, you were able to break through, come through whatever this offering, whatever this is. I don't know, you've got released from the devil. You've solved the puzzle. These people are losing signals. They're watching your reruns. Everything that happened to you from the beginning to the end is going to be happening to them. You were in hardship. They abandoned you, and now you have clarity here. You gained clarity because you were in isolation right under their feet, and you could hear them. Telepath, oracle. And you may not have always, you know, the strange thing is that, like for me, before I knew that I was psychic or whatever, you know, I'd go somewhere and I could swear, man, they're talking about me, right? You know, you walk into a room and then all of a sudden everything goes quiet and you just know everybody's talking to you. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe they're not. But anyway, you get the feeling that everybody's having a conversation about you. And I thought, you know, I was just really losing it. Like maybe they were right, you know, maybe I was conceited or something, until over 20 years ago when all this stuff happened. Then I was like, oh man, it wasn't me after all. So anyway, Snake, yeah, so we got 5 of Pentacles. They abandoned you. They made you struggle. You survived. You got clarity. You got truth. Well, they left you in isolation. They were watching you, wondering how it was you were doing. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. Nobody gives a shit about what's happening to you. They've reduced you to a personality. You're nothing more than chattel, an energy source, a heart to shatter and suck from a straw, darling. The love of you. So, because of what you have learned here, Queen of Swords, we are stopping giving idiots spiritual credit. Not everyone is a lesson. Some people are just dumb. They isolated you. They abandoned you. You were their dream come true. You were their ticket. You were their 10 of Pentacles. You were their armor. You were everything they needed. And they are exhausted now watching what they have done to you over many, many lifetimes. This Snake, they lied about you. They've been filing false testimony, false reports with the ancestors about you. High value divine feminines, they kept sacrificing, heart shattering, blowing up your heart space right here at the end, you know, right at the very last minute, and then stepping in. The Knight of Cups is here in the environment. Like they might want to come in and try to make a love offer here, but we've got memories in the reverse. Maybe you're not dealing with the past. Maybe you don't remember who this person is. Not everyone gets a ticket to your next season. You've evolved, you've changed, you've gained your freedom. You're allowed to outgrow people. You're not going back to the past. You using your intuition. You are source connected. Your discernment is online. You've mastered yourself here. You've mastered yourself while you were in solitude. You're laying this to rest. And self-love looks good on you. You're confident. You're glowing. Looking good. Looking good. And we've got commitment. It could be you have a protector that is committed to you. Maybe you are in a commitment. There's an oath here. A pledge. Devotion. Somebody's trying to avoid a tower. They're not in temperance energy. It's in the reverse. They're out of temperance. They're out of temperance because you're remaining grounded. You're a healer. You're connected to the Mother Earth, to the Mother. It's like they've called you a planetary stabilizer. These high priestesses are here as planetary stabilizers, and they've been shattering their heart and disconnecting them and then wearing it while not having the ability to step into the shoes of somebody who is actually here to do the work. I mean, yeah, they're sweet, you know, and all that good stuff, but they're not very nice, man. Callous, arrogant, believing themselves better and more worthy. It's terrible. But you're the actual strong and courageous and persistent high priestess here, source connected, grounded, the natural healer. The Mother Earth moves through you. You are a planetary stabilizer, rooted deeply, crowned highly, high priestess, temperance energy. The plants, the animals, the children all appreciate you. You're the caretaker of this space. And no one is coming to steal your spotlight, hun. No one is coming to steal your position. So in the beginning, I heard that no one will take anything from you ever again. I heard you have a guarantee. They've stolen your honor lifetime after lifetime. They've squashed you down. They've made you feel like nothing. a lot of these folks, they put these high value women in places where there's next to nothing. Nobody's coming to steal your glow. Nobody's coming to steal your spotlight. Nobody's going to stand in and wear your broken heart and try to fill the shoes that it takes your courage and your strength, your conviction, your temperance, your ability to manage yourself well when the whole world is trying to crush you. This person who has baneful heart shatter magic wouldn't be able to step up to that, but it looks like they're going to have to, because they're exhausted by watching the reruns. Everything that they did to you from the beginning to the end is going to happen to them. This whole family, everybody who is taught or trained to do this to high value women, to keep them from their proper counterparts and from their purpose in the world. So you're single, you're isolated, you're independent, you're alone, nobody's coming, you're empowered, you did it all by yourself, you're still by yourself. Nobody's coming to take that from you. Nobody's taking anything from you ever again. You do not, whatever it is that you have, they can't steal it, you can't give it away, you can't sell it. It's like when you're done with it, or whoever's using it, when they're done with it, it goes back for reevaluation or whatever it is. And it's like everybody's carrying their own cross. I got that one a couple years ago or whatever. Yep, we got a breakup. Walking away, there's a separation. This is the end. And it's because you're very firm here. You're very decisive. There's a breakup here. So, yep, nobody's coming to steal your spotlight. This is a firm breakup. It could be, I don't know. Well, it's like Divine Masculine may not have known that these beautiful angels were doing baneful magic such as this until it was recently witnessed or experienced firsthand. And I think it's very, very disappointing because they're so beautiful, so loving, so capable. But after the event, it's like, it's very clear where that emerald energy is coming from, and they could be running away. And because the apple evolved through this, transformed through this, they were able to recover after a shattering. They weren't able to just hide them away. God said that this was the end of their relationship with batteries, that they're no longer going to be able to do this. There's some kind of a message about an investigation. Somebody may have been looking for your talent, for the high priestesses, for those who had been trapped. Somebody said, congratulations, you survived, you're identifiable. So it's like, you've got natural talent. And it's like there's this, I heard, reconnaissance mission some time ago. And there's like folks here that like dropped in, not everybody made it into adulthood. And, like some of us, well, at least some, I heard, like, I'll say it again. They said that they had unalived or 17 times as an infant. And then roasted in the bowl once, crucified, and then burned alive many times. These guys are like trying to sear, S-E-A-R, the seer, S-E-E-R, out of the high priestesses. Traumatize their soul so badly that they could just consume them in the darkness forever, while the angel just pretends that they are that, But this high priestess, or two, if there's two of them, were able to overcome it. And now these ones who have been mirroring them have to go do the walk now. They have to go prove their value. It's been going on for a very long time, and it's very sad because they're so very beautiful. And, everybody wants them. Everybody wants them. It's just sad that the love that they're wearing is the shattered heart of true high priestesses. So you, as a fierce, independent, powerful light, powerful shadow, took the initiative. It's like fell to tell, upper dimensional beings fell to tell, and then got here, and it was like, they like, oh, we knew who you were, right? So they like shatter you, shatter you, shatter you, shatter you, shatter you, and they do it at such an early age, like your soul is, or your spirit, or all that is so fresh, so vulnerable, you could never possibly fight back, and they just shatter the soul, right? And the mind, and the mental, and all of that, over and over, but you rose above it so graciously and solved the mystery. You solved the mystery on why the light was going out. Why the light was going out. On the pits. On God's favorites. On the cats, on the Lyrans, on the Lyrans. It's because these ones have been energy harvesting them. Well, that's over. That's over. It was the somebody is going to be an eternal regret here for gambling like that. They didn't realize whatever the infidelity was going to do to this sacred space, and now they've missed their opportunity to be with anybody, and they're being tormented, and they're trying to drink it away. And because the scales are being balanced, you've solved the core of the problem, you've found the key of the issue, and the law is coming down. Those who are greater than we, perhaps those who are in the community of Lyra. Oh man. So yeah, he was mad at me the other day. I had to get him a bone. So he's over there chewing his bone. Anyway. Well, I don't know, guys. I mean, I think that's pretty good. I think that this pretty much tells a story. I don't think we really got to go any more detail than that. This type of research, I'm sure you probably already know. I mean, gaining wisdom isn't always pleasurable, right? But some of you can really withstand a lot of pressure and still keep your cool. And that's exactly what this high priestess did, if not two. They withstood the pressure. And they held temperance anyway. Caretaking, bringing stability to the land. And now, you know, I mean, everything is suffering. It's like, why are the lights dimming? Why are the lights dimming? What's going on? Well, you failed to tell. Go learn as much as you can about as much as you can. Then the cycle went on and on and on. But apparently this time was foretold long ago. And so apparently it's going just exactly as it needs to go. And puzzle solved. You're free to go. We got new gatekeepers. That's the message. Bye.